Hey NASCAR fans, Shane Carlson here with you again this week for NASCAR Insight. Gonna keep it brief this week, hopefully. I know it's getting late, so I'm gonna start out with recapping last week. I'll preview this weekend in Kansas, and then I'll give you my picks for the weekend. Camping World Trucks last week were in Las Vegas. Timothy Peters won his second race of the year. He also won at Iowa earlier this year. Um, and Matt Crafton, the points leader coming in, was up by 41 points heading into the race, and he is still up 41 points over James Buescher uh, as a result of a not a great race for Crafton, but James Buescher also didn't make up any ground, so he's got to be happy with that. That being said, Matt Crafton's streak of 16 consecutive top tens was broken. He had finished in the top 10 every race this year, but that was broken this weekend as he finished 11th. But he's chasing a title. He's out for max points every week, and he didn't lose anything, so good for him. Nationwide Series, Joey Logano again piloted the number 22 Hertz Ford Mustang this weekend for Penske Racing. It was the 11th time the number 22 Ford has visited victory lane in the Nationwide Series. It's been driven by four drivers: Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, AJ Allmendinger, and Ryan Blaney have also won in that car. So that's very impressive for the number 22 team. But after the race was over, it actually failed inspection. For the car was too low, NASCAR said. So they fined crew chief Jeremy Bullins, and so we'll see what happens there. He's a little bit lighter in the wallet now. But I still expect those guys to be strong every week. I don't think it should bother them really. And in the points battle, Sam Hornish Jr., the other Penske driver, maintains his point lead, but it has been trimmed to just 4 points over Austin Dillon in the 3-car. Dillon is still winless this year, so he'd love to get to victory lane and close that gap even more. Maybe even take the points lead if he could get there. Hornish has one win this year. They'd both love to battle it out amongst themselves to get the most wins. And as a fan, I would love to see. We've seen a bunch of Sprint Cup drivers come down in the Nationwide Series and just dominate all year. I'd really love to see if it was just Hornish and Austin Dillon battling for wins each and every week. I think that would be pretty cool for the fans, and it would just be great for the sport. I think anybody would like to see that. Ford Mustang versus a Chevy Camaro, so pretty big rivalry there. On the Sprint Cup Series side, Jimmy Johnson did what he does at Dover, and that is just go out and win. He passed Richard Petty and Bobby Allison for most wins all time there. Jimmy now has 8 wins at Dover in his career, and that's just pretty amazing to be able to just go every time he goes there. He is just fast. He's won 8 times in 25 starts there, so he's just money at that track. I don't know if there's a better track on the circuit for Jimmy Johnson, but picked him to win last week, and he went out and won. It really wasn't that hard to pick him. Dale Earnhardt Jr. ran strong, but he just got beat on a pit stop late. Jr. took 4 tires, Jimmy took 2, and Jimmy was still able to hold him off to get the win late. It's still the 20-car Matt Kenseth leading Jimmy Johnson and Kyle Busch. Those are the top 3 so far. They've really been the class of the field as they were last week. But I'd say anybody within the top 6 right now has a realistic shot of winning the championship. Anything past the 6th spot in the points, I think they're pretty much done. But anything can happen, especially we still have Talladega coming up in a few weeks here, so that's just a wild card race. Of course, Martinsville and a few as well. So we'll have to kind of wait and see how those things unfold. And but really, my benchmark right now is the 6th place guy of Greg Biffle. He's 41 points back. Tied for 4th is Kevin Harvick and Jeff Gordon. They're 39 points back, so it's less than a full race of points that they're back. but it's definitely been the 20, the 48, and the 18 so far being the class of the field. And then I guess I'll move on to my preview section here. Trucks are off this week. They're actually off for a few weeks until October 19th at Talladega that weekend. In the Nationwide Series, they're at Kansas Speedway, as is the Sprint Cup Series. But in the Nationwide Series, I'm definitely going to be watching the 12 car of Sam Hornish Jr. and the 3 car of Austin Dillon all day long to see how that points battle shakes out, because 4 points is only 4 positions on the track, so that's really pretty close. I'd really love to see that one go down in the final race of the year, final lap of the year even. That would be pretty cool. Sprint Cup Series, the Roush Racing Fords are always good there. Especially it's a 1.5 mile track, so they're really good there all the time. Kansas is a place where you can there's a lot of passing lanes. There's a lot of room to race, and you can keep the car wound up around the corner, and you don't have to brake too much. So that's good. See a lot of high speeds there. They did a tire test there on Thursday this week, and feedback from that has been real good. The track was repaved before the 2012 season, so tire wear has been pretty minimal. But I heard today that there is a little bit of tire wear, which is good. It puts a little bit of rubber on the track, creates a little bit more grip for the cars. So that's good. Good to hear that. And we'll see what goes on there. For my picks this weekend, as I mentioned before, the trucks are off. Nationwide Series, I'm going to go with Austin Dillon this week. He's now as close to the points lead as he has been all year, with just trailing just by 4 points. But he doesn't have a win yet, so I think he'd really love to get that win this weekend and tighten this points battle up even more. And that would be really cool to see, just as a fan. Sam Hornish Jr. and Austin Dillon battle it out. That would be sweet. And the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series this weekend, I'm going to go with Martin Truex Jr. He originally made the chase. He was then thrown out due to the Michael Waltrip Racing Clint Boyer saga. So that was a huge disappointment for him. A few weeks ago it was announced that he will no longer have Napa Auto Parts as a sponsor at Michael Waltrip Racing next year. So he's basically racing for a job for next year. He's not, with Napa leaving, it kind of takes away his contract and a bunch of money. So Michael Waltrip has said he's free to look for other teams if they want him. So basically this late in the season, it's really time for Martin Truex Jr. to show what he's made of. And within the last 3 races at Kansas, he's been really, really good. Both times in 2012, he finished second. He finished 4th here in the summer race over in 2013. So he leads a lot of laps here, but he just hasn't been able to put the final part of the race together to get the win. But I think he can change that this week and show a lot of people how good of a driver he is and why he deserves a ride for next year. So that's who I'm going to go with, Martin Truex Jr. in the 56 Napa Auto Parts Toyota. That's who I'm going with this week, and hopefully those guys pan out and the points battles get even closer. I'd love to see that. With that, enjoy the races, and hopefully see you next week. Thanks.